Hello.
Hello and welcome to Coffee Conversations and Q&A.
Thank you for being here.
We're happy to have you guys here. Let's cheers.
Cheers.
What are you guys drinking today? We've got some yummy cold brew coffee with some lovely foam.
Tempting not to make a mustache.
That's half the fun.
Yes.
Making a mustache.
Yes.
So it is April. Can you believe it?
Where'd the time go?
We're already on the second quarter of this year. So
Yes, we are.
time is flying. It's getting warmer.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids love it.
I got a little bit of some sun. I got a little sun yesterday. Just
A lot of sun.
Bit. I wasn't out there very long either, but it just does it real fast. So
We
anyways.
had fun riding that mower.
We had our first mow of the season. And you should have seen it. We had, and our hearts go out to all the people who've been affected by the tornadoes that have been in and around and everywhere.
Our prayers.
We weren't directly impacted, but we did feel the winds. We had some downed trees that we had to get off the road so we could get through, and a lot of downed limbs, but nothing major and compared. So, you know, we're praying for all those affected by
We love you.
by that. But definitely, we were out there yesterday doing our first mow. We've got the trees are in full bloom. Tulips are coming up. I saw them on the morning walk this morning.
Yes, they're about to.
Like a week ago, maybe less than a week ago, we had a hard frost, so I wasn't sure if they were going to make it.
Yes.
But
they're tough.
They're starting to bud out.
Tough.
So they are.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I like tulips. Tough.
Strong.
You know? All right. So we are gonna jump in, but let us know how things are going where you guys are.
Yes.
And
constantly keep bringing in the questions.
What you're up to. We love your questions today. We've got
Getting better.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, there's some lengthy questions. So I want to remind everybody, when you are sending in your questions, if we could turn it into a question and not a novel. That does help. I know sometimes you want to give a lot of background information, which is fine. But if you could just say, you know, here's my actual question, that helps us when we're choosing the questions and trying to, you know, get them in here and down to like a sentence or two or a small paragraph. That would be good. So let's jump in.
One.
All right.
How do I create a VIP section at my event?
There's lots of different ways.
Well, the first way is, even before they get there, let them have their own VIP section as soon as they walk in for registration.
Yeah. So you can have, which I suggest, you know, if you're going to have VIPs, have a VIP registration area as well.
Right.
That way they're not
in line waiting with everybody
else. They're getting that VIP from the beginning.
Yes.
And
usually they can come in a little earlier also.
Maybe
Get their
a
seating.
moment.
She doesn't like it, but
maybe a moment or two early. They already have their seats that are going to be more reserved for them anyways. So I don't see I don't mind letting them in the beginning. Like, we're going to let VIP in and then we're going to let everybody else in.
Yeah, there you go.
I prefer it more like that than we're going to let VIP in 5 minutes ahead of time and then we're going to let everyone else in after. Because again, I'm all about the energy. And so if you let people in, normally there's less VIP than everybody else, right? And so if you're letting them in, the energy kind of, and then you're going to do it again, just let them in first and then let everyone else. That way everyone's coming together.
Because you want that grand entrance always.
Always. And then the next thing is you want them to have some sort of seating that is just for VIPs, usually in the front. And then have that sectioned off. You can have something on the seats that says VIP. You can also have stanchions. Chair covers are good. Stanchions, kind of roping that area off. You know, sometimes you can have a lot of fun. You can have like a special carpet. You know, from this point forward, it's like a red carpet or something like that.
And everything else would be a different color also.
Yeah, you could
but
on brand.
The tablecloth and the chair covers.
Yep. So you can make it so it stands out. Maybe you have an extra little goodie or treat up there for them as well.
Right, and the same with the badge. It's not just a little lanyard. It's something different.
Yeah, something so
upgraded.
It's easily identifiable that they're VIP. And the other reason for VIP is, you know, when other people that are general admission, if you will, see VIP, or
Coming
maybe you
early.
have diamond, or maybe you have gold, or maybe you have different tiers. People are like, well, I want to get that. How do I get that one next time?
I want a metal badge.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
So it's setting the expectation up that, hey, you can do this over here too. You just have to, you know, get on it before they're gone, because normally it's a limited amount. So there's lots. Have fun with it. VIP to me is, you know, it's about setting them aside. They're obviously invested requesting more, so they need to
Yes.
get more. Maybe you have a special lunch with them, or a special Q&A session, or maybe you've done some
Yes.
calls up front with them. There's all kinds of things that you
Different
can do,
ways.
extra benefits.
And after also.
Yeah, so have fun with it, but definitely make it so that everyone else knows there's something different and special about VIP. So next time they want to do it as well. Oh, one other caveat. Sometimes maybe you didn't announce VIP before the event and you're letting them know at the event. You can do that too. You can say, hey, we have this VIP if you want to upgrade to this, and then you can get them in there at that.
And have a separate table for that.
So maybe you've already got your event, you've already sold tickets for it, and you don't have a VIP. It's not too late. You can do that right up to the event, or even at the event at regular registration too.
And you can print out sheets just to say right on the table VIP.
Yeah, and what they get. Maybe they get a Q&A, maybe they get a lunch,
Something
maybe they
that
get
you added last
extra
minute.
swag bag, something special, maybe even something
Right.
after the event. So
Right.
think about that, but it's not too late. Even if you've already done all your event sales and you've got an event coming up, you can create a VIP section as well. All right, next question. Okay, this one's a little lengthy, so here we go. I recently had an event where I thought more people were going to attend than actually showed up, and the room looked empty. What should I have done to roll with it and make it look better?
While the doors are closed, move those chairs and take away as many as you need and spread out the rows a little bit.
So first and foremost, you have to know just because you have, it's a numbers game, just because you have X amount of people registered for your event, not all those people are going to show up.
No, it is a drop-off
Let's go with an
percentage.
easy number. Let's say you have 100 people registered. I would only be setting the room for 80. Okay? And the reason is I'd rather add more chairs than have
Yes.
to, at the last minute, scramble.
It also looks better,
And
too.
it looks better if you have your 80 people go in and then 81, 2, 3, 4, 5 show up. You just have chairs and you start putting them, or you have an extra table that you have it off to the side
Yes.
ready to go. But that makes it look
Yes.
like, wow,
and
this
somebody
event,
to take care of that.
this event is full. Like they are adding space and tables.
Right.
And versus when you go in, which it sounds like this person had, they go in and it's like crickets because you have all these chairs or all these tables.
Yes.
And they're not
And nobody's
filled,
filling
right?
those chairs.
So then they're kind of like,
And the doors are open, and you're doing it in front of everybody.
Right,
And
you
it
don't
doesn't
want
look
that.
good because everybody's, of course, spread out. Nobody goes right to the front.
So then you have a hit or miss. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of
Yes.
people
And then it
sporadically
doesn't look
placed. It doesn't look good. That's also why we say keep the doors closed, because you can keep an account on how many people you have that have showed up.
Correct.
And if it's different than where you're at, then you can easily behind the scenes do a whole bunch of finagling
Yes.
before people actually get in the room.
Yes.
So
Doesn't take too long.
don't let it throw
Defeat
you off.
Yes.
Just plan for it ahead of time and know you're never going to have a 100% show up rate. There's going to be
No.
drop off, right?
Yep.
And the more people invest into the event, the more they're going to show. So if you have a lower ticket, you're going to have more drop off than if you have a higher ticket. But also be prepared, set it less. You want a space that can accommodate what you want,
Yes.
but set it for less and then have it off to the side in the wings or on the side that you can bring in what you need as people show up.
Right.
So
Great
that
question.
it just helps it look so much better. And I'm, sorry that you had to deal with that. And it's part of events, right? So we live,
Yeah.
we learn, and someone else is going to be, helped by this question too. That's why we're doing this, because it never happens to just one person. It's
No,
something
it
that's going to
happens to
happen. But if you
lots.
can learn from somebody else's challenge or mistake, it helps you going forward. So good
Yes.
question.
What should I do if the fire alarm goes off during the event?
Well, don't sit there. We've had this happen before.
Well, sometimes people. Well,
No,
it's
you
a
can't.
lot of people sit.
Okay.
Well, how about the staff goes out and finds somebody instead of just saying everybody up and get out. Find out what's going on if it's a false alarm.
Right. You got to have somebody get up and go
Yes.
figure it out. The other thing is,
That's
though,
what teams are for.
we're gonna put a safety measure on this. If you are way in a convention center somewhere where it would take you a nice hike to get out, you need to start moving, because
Yes, you don't wanna
never
be
know.
stuck
A lot of
in
times
there.
it is a false alarm. However, there
what,
could be
95%?
something. Most of them.
95.
Sometimes they get pulled. Sometimes they get tripped. Sometimes, most of the time, someone opened the wrong door and it goes off. That's usually
Right.
what it is.
Because
However,
they're trying to let in their buddy or something.
or just someone doesn't pay attention to the sign and they
Yes.
go out the wrong door.
Yes.
The challenge is with most venues is the fire department has to come. They have to check everything and make sure it's good. Then they can reset the fire alarm, and at that point, the beeping stops. So it can be
Takes a while.
It
Yeah.
can be a good minute, right? And depending on how that is, sometimes taking your event and going outside where you're not constant, because you're not going to be able to sit there and speak.
Yes, what you could do is have a break right at that moment, so it gives time for everything to be figured out.
If you know, hey, someone just opened a door, it's no biggie.
And it's too loud and I cannot.
Yeah, it's going to
Keep
be loud
going.
everywhere. So you can take a break at that point. You can go outside and, hey, let's get some fresh air. Let's do a walk and talk. Let's have some networking outside. Like, you can roll with it. Always verify, though. You want to send somebody immediately to let you know. Maybe you have a walkie-talkie that you can call someone at the hotel.
Or their number so you can text.
You could, text them on their number, whatever that may be. But you want to figure it out what it is. A lot of times, though,
Right.
it takes a while for the fire department to get there,
Right.
especially if they know it's not an emergency. Like, they're there in a hot minute if they know it. But if it's not and they're just going there to do their checks and stuff,
Correct.
it takes a little bit longer. They have to go through everything, do all their checks and balances before they can put it back and turn it off and say it's all good.
Yes.
So be flexible with that. Don't keep talking and just pretend like there's no glaring beep going on.
That happens all the time.
And it also, depending on your audience, it can really hurt their ears. So you've got to know that too. So if you can get outside and get somewhere where you're not having to hear that all the time, because it's loud.
Yes.
I mean, it's
Some
louder
alarms are louder than
and
others.
normally they're talking like, like get out, find safety, cover, whatever it is. They're loud, they're obnoxious and annoying. However, they're there for a reason.
Yes, it is.
And as long as you know there is no fire, someone just went out the wrong door, they tripped the alarm, it's going to be some time. Take a break. If it's close enough to lunch, go to lunch. If it's not, you can continue outside. Let everyone know, hey, we're going to take this time
Take
for
a break.
networking.
Yes.
Meet, mingle. You got to roll with it. But always make sure it's not a safety issue. If it is, then that's another reason you want to know your closest exits too. Because a lot of times, if there is a fire or some sort of
want to know that.
emergency, it's not the door you came in on, right? A lot of times you can go through the back, maybe through the hallway in the back where there's staff. And if it is an emergency, there's closer ways of being able to get out. So you need to know that too, so that you can know where the closest nearest exit is to exit.
Yes.
And for other crazy emergencies,
that's a good note for a checklist. Too.
There's other crazy emergency things that might be going on other than fires and things. It's always good to know where your exits are, and usually the exit is not the one you came in on, okay?
No.
And if it is an emergency,
that's the one everybody goes for.
Yeah, because that's the one they know. Just like, right, if you're in a hotel room and you're sleeping and the fire alarm goes off and there's smoke and there's this and there's that, everyone's thinking about
the
where
elevator.
they came back from.
Yes.
The elevator, the stairs. Normally there's a closer way out in an emergency to get out. And that's
right
just
next to you, but you don't realize it.
because you weren't paying attention. So
No.
this is a PSA to pay attention in all situations and know where your nearest exit is.
Yes. Might not be a fire.
No.
Might be something else.
You never know. So be prepared. All right, next. I know I'm getting in my own way and not charging enough for my coaching. How can I work on this so I'm charging more? Okay. So I would say 9 out of 10 are not charging enough. And it comes from a lot of times just insecurity in yourself. And
or not knowing any better.
most people, though, it is. And if you say you can charge more, like, no, I can't. I don't think this is all I can charge. So there's a couple things that you can do. One, you're identifying that you want to charge more. You're just not sure how to do it.
Yes.
Well, in order to charge more, you have to provide more value, okay?
Yes.
So money is a value exchange. And so if you
Goes
are
hand in hand, right?
if you are asking X for your coaching, what are they getting in return for that dollar exchange, right? And when you can show that, hey, through my coaching, the investment of what you're giving me, you are going to get back even more than what you're investing in me, then it makes it worth that value exchange. If you're not clear and not sure on that, then you need to stop. And you need to figure out what your value exchange is. What value are you providing? What information are you doing? How are you helping them? And if you're still not sure, then maybe you should stop again and think, what am I doing this for? What is the end result and the outcome that I'm wanting them to get? How am I helping them?
Yes, and you can change everything around.
Right, and provide more value. Because again, coaching, a lot of people undercharge, but there's some people out there just, they're not providing much value either, right?
No.
So if
Then
you
they
know
charge, like,
that you're
way too
providing
much.
value, then you need to have confidence in the value that you're providing and just start
Yes.
charging more. Now,
And go with it.
Does that mean that every client you have right now is going to stick with you when you do that? No, but that's okay because
Yep.
it frees up space on your schedule to be able to get more higher paying clients or
That's right.
take less clients and have more time to do other things.
And you will.
And you're actually making more than having your whole schedule
With
booked out
less clients.
with back-to-back clients, okay?
Yes.
So it's mindset. You've got to know that you're worth charging more, but you
Mm-hmm.
also have to back that up with, what you're providing is worth more than what you're asking in exchange for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just comes down to the belief in yourself that you can ask more.
That's right.
The
And you're worth
hardest
it.
the hardest part is asking, right? The first time. Once you get the I asked and someone paid for it, maybe I should charge more. Maybe you
Right,
should.
and you will.
So charge more and until you kind of figure out, okay, this is
Your happy medium
people are
place.
saying yes.
Yes.
It's me that's getting in my
Because
own
they know
way
it's worth it.
of what that is. So, and you start
Yes.
building the belief that, I can
Yeah.
charge more.
Yep.
So charge more.
All right, last question. I had a lunch schedule for the attendees at my event, and the food didn't arrive on time. How can I prevent this from happening in the future?
Okay.
Ooh.
BEO, BEO, BEO.
Yes,
Okay.
it's going to be in that contract.
It's your banquet event order, or your BEO,
Mm-hmm.
is what shows exactly down to the minute as to what is being handled, covered, delivered
Yes.
from the venue to you
Mm-hmm.
at each time. Now, just because it's on the BEO doesn't always mean it happens, though. And that's why at the beginning of your event, the day before, the night before,
Right.
you need to go over
With
your
the meeting.
BEO
Yes,
with the
with-
person at the venue who
Who's
is
in
going to
charge.
be in charge while your event is going on. Because sometimes
Yes.
there's a different person and it doesn't always get relayed, right? So you need to go through that with them and saying, hey, you guys are providing lunch at this
Yes.
time for X amount of people, for this, for that. And so you're going through everything
Right.
because at that point,
Even during the event.
right. At that point, like the day before, let's say it's the evening, you're going through your BEO, and there's a lunch happening the next day, and they're like, oh, well, we didn't see that. That didn't happen. Like,
Right.
okay.
That's
Then
what the meeting's for.
It gives them time to,
Fix it.
maybe they didn't order all the food, but they can at least at that point have time
Right.
to fix it,
Yes,
have
you can
time
replace.
to get what they need to be able to provide what they said they were going to provide, right?
Right. And they know that ahead of time, the day before, not the day of.
Right. And if, lunch came and lunch went, and then you go to them, hey, we were supposed to have lunch at, 12:15, where is it? And they're like, oh, we forgot.
Right.
Or,
But you
we
should-
thought it was 1:15. It's like, no, it's 12:15
Yes.
or 12:30 or whatever
and an
time
hour
you choose.
before lunch, you're also talking to the person in charge, making sure everything's on time,
Yep.
and verify that it's going to be here at this certain time in this certain room.
Yep. It's checks and balances. Just because it's there, you always want to verify. You want to
Yes.
validate. You want to verify. We're
Right.
we're
Even
on
when
the
you
same
book
page.
the event, you want to make sure you look at that space somehow with somebody else, take pictures. You need pictures to know for pillars, chandeliers in the way, and all the stuff you didn't think you know about. That's why you have to check on these
Yeah.
things.
And when it comes down to your food and your order, you've got to verify because there's a lot of turnover in the event industry
Mm-hmm.
at venues. And so maybe you work with somebody and that someone's not there, or they're on vacation, or they're
they're
on
out
maternity
sick.
leave, or they're sick, or whatever it is. Just because you've talked to them about it, you want to see it on the BEO, but then you want to talk to the person who's actually going to be there the day of your event to make sure everything's running smoothly so they can tell people where they need to be when they need to be. Nope.
Okay, cool.
So, anyways, that's what you want to have happen next time and that's how you prevent that is by talking and knowing and thinking for other people who aren't always there. And just because it's
Yes.
written down doesn't mean it's going to happen. So, verify, talk, go over, look at it again, and then every morning.
That's what experience is too.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure the other
And it's good every morning is checking, hey, I just want to make sure, we're still on
schedule
for everything
for
for today. We're going to have a refresh of the room at this time.
Yes.
We're not doing lunch today, but we are doing that cocktail hour this evening.
Yes.
We're doing, maybe we're doing a VIP dinner or a VIP meal here, there, or the
Yes.
other. We're going to be out on the patio at this time with this. So go
Yep,
over it
verifying
with them.
everything.
So we're not just assuming.
Right.
You've got to make sure everything's
And
good.
find out what time they're even leaving. Because if they're not around, just say for a dinner or for something, because they leave at 5, but dinner's at 6, or you're having drinks or anything else, who's going to be covering that
Who's in charge?
when that person's gone?
Yep. and get phone numbers and get names and ways of being able to communicate. Sometimes they pass off a walkie-talkie, or maybe they have a special phone and they pass out to the next person. Whatever that is, you want to know
you need their information.
what that contact is, so that if there are challenges that arise, which they do, right? As much as you attempt to navigate and attempt to work on things, stuff comes up, stuff happens.
Yep.
Fire alarms go off, or the roof starts leaking, or
Yes.
whatever might happen.
Yep.
You have to be on your toes all the time,
At all times.
ready for that next thing.
Yes, because roof will leak on you.
The fire alarm will go off. It has
Yes,
happened.
and your food might not show up.
That too. So these are little challenges that can happen. And the more that you know that challenges are going to arise, the more
Yes.
that you're kind of ready to handle them when they do come, versus just getting smacked in the face of like,
Yes.
okay.
Or water dripping on your head.
That too. It all happens. So these are real life, ongoing things that happen at events.
Yes.
It's an ever changing daily thing that happens. So you want to be prepared. You want to plan out as much as you can, but then also be ready for when
Anything.
whatever happens, you're ready to roll. So
Yes.
again, we love
you.
you guys' questions. Keep them coming. Sometimes we put up
Yes.
chat boxes. You guys have been sending them in, though, so we've been getting lots of those. Make sure you check out the Instant Impact event show that we have. We're doing it through podcasts, and also it's on YouTube as well. So check that
Yes.
out. We drop a couple
Yes, and share.
episodes a week, and make sure you share this with your like-minded colleagues, friends, family, whomever is a speaker,
Yes.
coach, entrepreneur.
And we're here for you.
We're here for you guys, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.